Hey guys, it's Abi. Welcome back to the Abi Sing Perspective Gym podcast. Thank you for tuning in. It's been brought to my attention that the name of the podcast could potentially be confusing in the future once we expand past 0 active listeners at the moment. My good friend Anant, shout out to Anant, first subscriber to the podcast, pointed out that the word gym smack dab in the middle of the name podcast, Perspective Gym podcast, could make people think that this was a fitness podcast, which, kind of makes sense. But then you would look at the title, you'd see it's just a combination of random topics that I'm talking about. And maybe if you were a fitness head, you'd click on it and you'd just find a crazy 20-year-old Indian man talking about his Cocomelon conspiracy theories. Which might be a huge turnoff, but maybe they'd stay and I could gain a listener. It's good to try new things. It's good not to name judge, right? Like it's good not to judge things by their name. You can judge a book by the cover, right? But at least on the cover you have some book art. You can kind of tell what the book, I mean not really, but you feel like you can tell what the book is going to be about based on the font that the cover is using, the book art, sometimes even who it's by if you know the author. But that's a lot harder with movies, right? Because movies, they'll just have a title and then a description, and then maybe you've heard about it from someone else. But when you're looking I'm trying to watch more movies with names that aren't particularly appealing to me. So I think today I'm going to watch Little Miss Sunshine. And hopefully that's going to be good. Back when I was in Connecticut, I watched a lot of those Disney family movies because my aunt and my uncle, they have 2 young kids. They love those Disney movies. And I'm not going to lie, I really like them. I really like those movies. They made me feel happy. At the end when the macho dad figure ends up accepting that he loves his innocent daughter. I watched 2 of those movies. One was The Game Plan, that was with The Rock, and the other was, I can't put my head on it, but it was with Vin Diesel. And it's true, Vin Diesel can't really act, but doesn't mean he can't be good in a movie. I was still convinced by it. Vin Diesel plays this Marine dude who has to babysit some kids. Yeah, I know. Classic Disney plot. And although I don't think he showed any emotion during the whole movie, his character convinced me. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the writing or just the good acting of everyone else. But those movies are heartwarming. Speaking of heartwarming things, I watched this other video. It was about NBA player Bam Adebayo. Phenomenal player for the Heat. Really strong looking dude. Of course he is. He's in the NBA. But the video was about his upbringing. He grew up very poor. He stayed with his mother in a very beat down trailer I'm going to assume it was in the hood. Just because you don't see too many trailers in Beverly Hills, right? Although what you will see a lot of in Beverly Hills are those van influencers. Those people who live out of their van. They have the kitchen, they have their bed. Is that it? I think that's all you can really fit into a van. Although I have seen one with a shower system, where it collects the rainwater. It collects rainwater since it's parked outside all the time, I'm guessing. And then it filters it. You can use the rainwater to shower. This girl was showing how the rainwater hooked up to the tubes and how she used the tube to shower. But I imagine it might be hard to find a place to shower because you have to shower outside of the van. And I imagine it'd be uncomfortable being naked outside, let alone finding a place to be alone, right? But back to Bam Adebayo. So he grew up in this trailer with his mother and gets drafted to the NBA, plays really good for a couple years, and gets a huge contract with the Miami Heat, very deservingly so. Which thereafter, he buys his mother a gorgeous house, right? Well deserved, very heartwarming. But the way the video made it seem was that they were still in this trailer up until the point he signs this huge contract with the Heat. So when he got his mom that big house, I'm like, hold on. Was his mom in the trailer the whole time? Was he, as a rookie in the NBA, making millions of dollars and his mom is just watching his games from the trailer? Just kind of waiting for the house. Like, I know I'll get me a house one day. Which, of course, a lot of players do. It's really nice. Really brings a tear to the eye. Just like those Disney movies. I've become a real softie lately. I think I need to go back into being like a cold, no feelings, tough guy. I'm sure you guys know the stereotype. Speaking of basketball, I practiced with my intramurals team finally over the last couple of days. People at the school take intramurals very seriously. I mean, it is very competitive. Not that I'm complaining. I feel like by the time that I graduate from here, I'm basically going to be able to competently hoop at any park or gym across America. I hear they go pretty hard at those LA Fitnesses. But you know what? I think I'm just going to walk up right in and be like, oh, this is cute. I played at Georgia State University. I've been forged in fire, as they say. But what's not cool and what's not fun is getting blown out and mercy ruled at intramurals. I think they need to separate basketball intramurals into two sections. One for people who want to have fun, and the other for people who still believe that they're going to make it to the NBA. As harsh as it sounds, I don't think they are. Although they are very good at intramurals basketball, so who knows? Maybe those skills could translate, right? They didn't make it in high school, but people have made it with worse odds, which is extremely impressive. Just like Bam Adebayo. I was talking to a friend the other day, and she said she had a friend who believed that who wasn't a flat earther, but he was what I call him a square Americaner, which is that he believed that America was shaped like a perfect rectangle. America was a grid, he thought, and each state was just a rectangle within the rectangle that is America, which is not the craziest thing I've heard. Of course, you've got your flat earthers, but what's funny is that this guy wasn't a flat earther. He just believed that America was a rectangle. You know how they'll have a map of the world and they'll throw a dart at it with their eyes closed, and wherever the dart lands, that's where they'll travel to? I feel like this guy does that, except he plays Connect 4. By the way, that whole thing with the darts, that's definitely not for cowards. I mean, first, I believe that most of the Earth, when we're talking surface area, it's the ocean, right? You can't really travel the ocean. Or maybe when the dart lands on the ocean, you just go on a cruise to anywhere. You know, I think that'd be a fun alternative. But if you're really taking it seriously, one, you can't land on the ocean. And two, what if you land in like a war-torn country like Syria? Are you still going to make that trip? Only the courageous can really play that game seriously. that's really all I have for today, guys. I was just kind of excited to do another podcast. I didn't feel like I had good flow on this one. Nor was I, too crafty with the words, but it's good to get some practice in. This is going to be a really short one. I think once I cut it down, it's only going to be around like 9 or 10 minutes. But this is why we do this. We work on being more creative. So thank you for listening. I'll see you guys next time.